Atlanta Hawks finesse the NBA. Check it out.
ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting the Big Easy gets one of the best guards in the game.
Let me stop you right there, because the only team who got one of the best guards in the NBA in the DeJounte Murray trade was the Atlanta Hawks, when they decided to fleece, to pull down the pants of David Griffin and the entire New Orleans Pelicans organization, trading away a 28-year-old DeJounte Murray for a 21-year-old Dyson Daniels.
Oh wow, 21.
Yes, 2 first-round picks. And I'm here to tell you that 21-year-old might be the best defender in the entire NBA right now. I did not stutter. I just
Really
said Dyson
finesse
Daniels
them
might
like
be
that?
the best defender in the entire NBA right now, because how many other players are doing things like this? Well, look at him on this play against one of the shiftiest players in the NBA. Watch Dyson move towards the screen to get around it, but as man goes back the other way, look at his ability to change direction with man, getting back in front of him, and at that point, he stays with him before blocking the shot. This is the advantage of being 6'8" with a 6'11" wingspan, yet having the lateral movement of someone about 6 inches shorter. And when I say he might be the best defender in the NBA, that is obviously a bold statement for not just someone so young.
Nah, he ain't gotta be, cause who else is doing it like him?
The best defender in the NBA is considered a big man, but Dyson Daniels might be in the 1% with the things he is doing right now, because so far this season he's averaging 7.5 deflections per game. And just to give you guys some context, since the NBA started tracking them in 2016-17, the most a player has averaged before this was Fred VanVleet with 4.2 per game in 2019. Dyson is averaging as many deflections per game as the last 2 leaders combined. I don't need to tell you how crazy that is. Imagine if, say, Wemby were to average as many blocks as Chet Holmgren and Walker Kessler combined. That is the kind of thing Dyson Daniels is doing right now. This is historic stuff we are currently watching.
Bro, what is it?
Stat to look at is because they show how much Dyson is doing all game long, and this is honestly his superpower. There is not another player in the league that plays with as much intensity for as long as Dyson Daniels does on defense. From picking up players full court to fighting over every single screen, or even taking on bigger opponents on post-ups. He's fighting every single possession on defense like no one else in the league, and then all the while he's giving you production offensively as well. Yeah, he's no scrub on that end of the floor. With him dropping
what's crazy, he is only going to get better. He is only going to get better.
Just a glimpse of what he could turn into as an offensive player. Look at him here just driving downhill into Jason Tatum. Maybe a slight push-off, but he also got slapped about 4 different times, yet had the concentration to still drop it in. Or in this play where he gets it on the baseline, and look at the touch just to float it in. And one thing you'll notice offensively with Dyson is exactly that. It is his floater. He might not have the prettiest offensive game. He won't cross you over 6 times and then hit step-back jumpers.
It gets the job done. It gets the job done.
Get downhill, which means he can get to good spots on the floor.
Yeah,
and from there, all he needs is the ability to finish with either hand on push shots or layups, which he's been doing really well. Obviously, the question mark is still over his shooting, but we just saw against the Celtics, he can still be the best player on the floor whilst only hitting 1 3-pointer. And the biggest aspect I've seen from Dyson offensively has been his aggression and confidence. I often heard people talk about how he had no offensive game or he was just a defensive player whilst in New Orleans. That's never been true. The skill and talent offensively has always been there, but he's always been afraid to make mistakes because, well, in New Orleans, when he did make mistakes, he would often get benched and not see the floor again. That's different now in Atlanta, and that was summed up by the fact he took the 3-pointer after missing his first 4 threes in such a crucial moment, or in the last possession of the game where he was the one who took the shot. And even though he missed, Okongwu was there to tip it in, and the fact he got such a great look against such a great defender and didn't hesitate shows you he has the
Drew
skill
Holiday
to be
too?
a legit two-way force. Now, getting back to his defense, you also have to give credit to Quinn Schneider as well, because this is what Dyson said about his role for the Hawks. I have a lot of freedom on the defensive end as a defender. I probably gamble a little too much, but if you come up with the ball, then it doesn't matter. It's going to work. And this is an overlooked aspect of defense. We always talk about what a player's role is in the offense, how guys like Cam Thomas can take 20 shots a night or whoever, but you can't have a team full of players trying to make defensive plays. Obviously, a team full of Dyson Daniels doesn't exist, but it's key for the rest of the Hawks defense to do their job, staying in front of their man, which allows Dyson to help off his man at times and pick up deflections and steals using his instincts and IQ. Obviously, there will be times where this doesn't work,
But
more
rips
often than
it
not,
out.
it is working, and the numbers back that up as well, because the Hawks defense is considerably better with Dyson on the floor versus off the floor, which was actually the complete opposite with DeJounte Murray. And one thing Dyson does, which is incredibly rare, is he can make defensive plays with his back turned to the player with the ball. Just take this play for example, where he's chasing Jordan Poole around, and he knows that Valanciunas is looking to give the ball up. So instead of turning his head and losing Poole, he just jumps at the perfect time to intercept the
That
pass
is it.
with
No,
his back
no,
turned.
that is
And this
elite
right here is
defense
such a
right
good
there.
indication of his
Beyond
IQ,
elite
because he
defense
knows
right there.
when and where both the player he's guarding and the player with the ball are
My
at
type
all
of
times.
defense.
He can also use his IQ to bait players into throwing turnovers, like here with Hardaway Jr. He initially shades over to Isaiah Stewart to prevent the entry pass. Just as Hardaway is about to pass it out to Cade, he anticipates that and
After
jumps
this,
at the pass.
it's
just
official.
his
Dyson
overall
Daniels is
ability
the
to
best
read the
defender in the
opposition
NBA.
is remarkable. And you pair that with his freakish hands, because the amount of times he reaches around and pokes the ball away from opponents when it looks like they've blown past him or he's out of the play is unlike anything I've ever seen. And I think it's reaching a point where teams
Bro,
are
we
going
got
to
some. No,
completely
the
avoid
Hawks need to go ahead
whatever
and
side
pay
of
this
the floor
man.
he is on as a defensive player. That's the kind of impact he's
That should
having
be a
right
priority
now.
in
But I
the
want to talk a bit more
offseason.
about his offense, because I think it's easy to overlook it given he might be the best defender in the NBA.
We
In the
have
modern
something
NBA,
special
he
right
can't be
here.
a liability offensively. Just take Matisse Thybulle, for example. Luckily for the Hawks, Dyson is not only great at using his size to get downhill and get to the rim in transition, but he can handle, he can finish with either hand, and oh, he can pass. This is the most underrated part of Dyson Daniels' game. He doesn't quite have the overall offensive ability to be a point guard right now, but when you have him playing as a combo guard and you don't rely on his playmaking, all of a sudden that passing really pops, making those quick reads as a cutter, or when he drives to the rim and the defense collapses on him, he's able to wrap it around using that size and length to see over defenders. Honestly, if he improves his handle, this will be someone who will be
bro,
triple-doubles on a
for
nightly
real.
basis, all the whilst being
For
one of
real.
the best defenders in the NBA. Oh yeah,
You know what?
the Hawks
He
are
already is. He already is. Good vid.